Guess what's coming to Netflix? Cuphead. And guess what? I predicted it. I did, and I have proof. Back when I was really into Cuphead the game, my only wish was for someone to make a TV show out of it, like a classic Mickey cartoon fitting the style and theme of the video game. There didn't really have to be an overarching story throughout a season, maybe just a problem in an episode and some funny gags throughout. I thought the TV show would never happen, so I wrote an episode. Not fanfiction though, because if you watched last week's episode, well, not last week, but the week before that, my sole prediction video, then you know I hate fanfiction. I just think of it as a TV show I haven't pitched to them yet. Anyway, my plan was to send the script of the pilot episode that I wrote into them through Twitter or something. And keep in mind, at this time I was a 6th grader who doesn't even have Twitter, and my writing isn't even good. It's just mediocre. Anyway, they'd read it, and that would make them think, oh, hey, this kid's got an idea. We should make a TV show. Obviously, if they made the TV show back then, from my script inspiration, they wouldn't use it. My idea was really just to inspire them with their own character and creation. But guess what never happened? The TV show and my script for the pilot episode. I never finished it. I don't even think I got halfway done. So sadly, the TV show was never even a thought in their brain. All I'm really trying to say right now is I started writing the TV show before they even thought of it, so technically I predicted it. Now I'm going to get to the fun part, showing you the script. But actually, before we do that, let me explain something. The creators behind Cuphead, worked out some sort of deal with Netflix to create a cartoon that would go on their streaming service. They confirmed it in an interview, and they basically talked about what it would be like, which is exactly what I wanted. They explained it almost exactly how I did. A Mickey cartoon. In one episode, Mickey is selling hot dogs at a hot dog stand. In the other episode, he's flying a plane in the war. Basically, they just want it to feel like a classic 30s cartoon and be different every episode. Okay, now back to what I was getting to. The script. The unfinished script. Alright, get ready for some long commentary because we're about to dive into the script. So, when I go to read this, I'm going to read it exactly what it is on the page, but I'm going to add in a few words here or there to say the narrator in voiceover form, something like that, when I announce the character speaking. So let's go. We are currently inside on a table, and it's daytime. We see a book on a table as it slowly opens. A voiceover of the narrator starts playing. As you know, our two heroes, Cuphead and Mugman, recently had a fearsome fiasco with the no-good, all-evil devil. We move over right above the book as its pages start to flip faster. It starts to go so fast the images are now a blur. Side note, keep in mind this is 6th grade writing. The narrator starts to speak again. But going past that story, how about after that story? The after adventures, or perhaps the misadventures. Yes, the misadventures of Cuphead and Mugman. Is this video getting cringy yet? I hope so. The pages slow down and finally stop. The page stops on a page we've never seen before. Is that redundant? A page with a picture of Cuphead standing on a bridge, about to scramble over to Mac, who is falling off the bridge. We focus in on the picture as it starts to become more bold and colorful. We are now outside as it is daytime on the first Inkwell Isle Bridge. Cuphead says, I'm coming, don't worry. We follow Cuphead while he runs over to Mac, who is halfway through falling down into the water. We see Mac land flat on his back when he hits the water like cement. He stays afloat for about a second and then his head sinks first. His head fully goes under, leaving just his small, peeping green body floating still. Cuphead runs to the right of the bridge and down and around under it. We are now under the bridge. Cuphead runs to the edge of the land in an attempt to grab Mac and pull him out of the water. Cuphead stands on his tippy toes and sticks out one arm to try and grab Mac. He uses his other arm to steady himself. Mac's feet are kicking and splashing. Cuphead gives up because his arm is too short. He runs back up onto the bridge. We are now back on top of the bridge, but not for long, because Cuphead runs as fast as he can across the bridge and into the front of Elder Kettle's lawn. We are now inside Elder Kettle's living room. We see Elder Kettle rocking peacefully in his rocking chair, with his eyes shut while smoking on his pipe. Cuphead abruptly bursts through his front door. Elder Kettle's eyes snap open and his pipe falls from his hand. Cuphead screams, Elder Kettle, I can't say Elder Kettle, help! Gulp. Mac fell off the bridge and he's sinking. Elder Kettle tells Cuphead to calm down. Easy. Cuphead asks, where's Mugman? Mr. Elder Kettle responds, he's in the kitchen. Elder Kettle points to the hall. Did I just say that wrong? Elder Kettle points to the hall. Cuphead. Oh, thank goodness. Cuphead runs to the kitchen. I feel like I'm reading you, like a bedtime book. I'm sorry if this is a little kiddish, but anyway, let's continue. We are now inside the kitchen, and it is still day. We see Mugman happily standing at the stove, whistling and shaking his rear to the tune. Mugman picks up a pan with a pancake and starts flipping it. Cuphead comes up behind Mugman in a panic. Cuphead says, Mugman! Cuphead shakes Mugman by the shoulders. Mugman freaks out. He throws the pan with the pancake in it. The liquid on his head shoots up and lands back in his head. He turns to face Cuphead. I apologize. I'm just trying to make this more interesting. Cuphead shakes wait, we just read that. Mugman. Golly, Cuphead, what's the matter? Cuphead says, it's horrible. Mac fell overboard. Mugman. What do you mean? Cuphead says, come on, there's no time to explain. They dash out of the kitchen side by side. We are now in the front lawn of Elder Kettle's home, but not for long again because we see Cuphead open the front door and run across the screen with Mugman following him. Here's an odd detail I wrote in, but Cuphead starts to sweat while they run across the bridge. They run under the bridge, so now we're back under there once again, and we see Cuphead dragging Mugman by the hand as they near the edge of the land where Mac is. Cuphead asks, do you see him? Cuphead points to Mac. Mugman nods his head, yes. Mugman says, okay, I got an idea, but you're gonna have to cooperate. Cuphead nods in confirmation, and Mugman continues to say, okay, I'll lift you by your legs and you'll reach out and grab Mac and I'll reel you both in. Basically like a fishing pole. Cuphead explains and says that he's got it. Cuphead moves to the edge of the land. Mugman goes right behind him. Mugman bends down a little bit. He wraps his hands around both of Cuphead's legs. Mugman starts lifting him into the air, then he slowly moves Cuphead closer to Mac. Cuphead wiggles his arms out to Mac's feet and grabs a hold of them. Cuphead tells Mugman that he has got a hold of Mac and he's ready to be pulled in. Mugman yanks with his chest bouncing up and down from his heavy breathing. Sweat drips off of him. Mugman successfully pulls Cuphead out with Mac back to the land. Mac is laying unconscious. Water puddles surround him. Cuphead slaps him across the face. Cuphead continues saying, Mac, wake up, oh dear Lord, Mac. Mac comes conscious and Cuphead says, golly, oh gee, Mac. He shakes Mac. Thank goodness you're alive. Mac sits up. Oh, I'm out of the water? Cuphead nods. Cuphead. Wait. He pauses. How do you stay underwater for so long? Mac stands up and brushes himself off. Back in Allington, we used to have an apple bobbing contest. The sun starts to set in the background. Mugman says, the sun's getting low. Better go back to Elder Kettle's. Elder Kettle's. Mac, you'd like to come with? Mac nods. They all walk off up the hill. All right, it irises out of them when they're walking up the hill and the sun is setting in the background. Now, we transition into Porkrind's Emporium, and it is now nighttime. Cuphead steps up into the Emporium. Porkrind stands behind the counter. Porkrind grits his teeth at the sight of Cuphead. Cuphead, what do you want? Cuphead holds up the number 1. 1 bottle of root beer, please, he asks. Porkrind pulls a root beer bottle out from behind the counter and slams it down. Porkrind grunts, here you go. Cuphead takes it and steps down out of the Emporium. We are now in the dining room of Elder Kettle's house, and it is still night. Cuphead, Mugman, and Mac sit at a round dining table. A window reveals the night. A nice-looking blue half-moon Hildeberg that gives off a yellow glow sits in the air, peacefully asleep. Mugman says, "How did you even fall off anyway, Mac?" Mac says, "Well, you see," and we begin the flashback. We are back on the exterior, well, not exterior, but outside on the bridge, and it is daytime now. We are back from the start of the episode, but from a closer view of Mac. He has an envelope in his hand. He tears it open. We go over to his shoulder to read the note he pulled out of the envelope. Mac is voiceovering now. "Dear Mac, I've decided I'm coming to Inkwell Isle to live with you forever." Mugman voiceover. "Wait, forever?" Cuphead says, "Shh, continue." Mac continues. "I've saved enough coins, ... Fade to Paula's voice. Paula is now fading. Okay, this is a little confusing. But Mac is reading a note from Paula, and now it's fading from Mac's voice to Paula's voice. "To buy a canoe and sail my way over. I'll be there in 3 weeks. You better have a bed made for me. Oh, who cares? We can share one. Love, Paula Red." Mac starts blinking a ton and rocks back and forth. He falls back off the bridge. We end the flashback and come back to the dining room. They all still sit at the table. Cuphead says, "What's wrong with her living with you?" Max stands up and slams his fist on the table. "What's wrong?" he says. For a quick scene, we jump to Elder Kettle's room. He is asleep for a split second, then bounces awake at the jolt of the slamming. He plops back down in the same position, and he goes back to sleep as the blanket floats back onto him. Cut back to the dining room now. Cuphead says, "Shh, Elder Kettle's sleeping." Well, it's too late for that anyway. "Mac," he whispers, "What's wrong? What's wrong is I left Allington to get away from her." That was a weird whisper yell anyway. Mugman says, "Oh." We zoom in on Mac. We zoom in on Mac. We zoom in on Mac. And that's it. We zoom in on Mac. That's the end of the video. Not the video. That's the end of the script. That's all we were left with. That's all my 6th grade self could write from my phone. I was a lame 6th grader. I left it on a huge cliffhanger. So our last line was, we zoom in on Mac, waiting for him to say what he was about to say, which I don't even know what that was. But anyway, that was the script. I wrote mostly using my phone on Celtics or Celtics, whatever you prefer to call it. Now I have a question for you. Should I return to it and finish it, or should I tweet it into Studio HDMR, I'm pretty sure is their name, just for fun? Let me know down below, and I will see you later. Goodbye. If you stuck around to the end card, here's a little bonus for you. Should I do more stuff like this, reading my old writing, making new writing, or doing more stuff with writing? Because I enjoy writing. That is one of my things I love to do, which I haven't done a very good job of doing it lately, but that is one of the things I enjoy to do, is write. So if you would like to see some writing live streams or something like that, if I can figure out how to set that up, just let me know down in the comments, and I will see you later. Click on that subscribe button, and then once you're done subscribing, click the like if you liked it, and then press the video to watch more.